This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
.3 billion people live across this vast continent called Asia, and we are telling their stories. On this edition, Education versus Radicalism, an Islamic boarding school in Indonesia combines the principles of jihad with entrepreneurship. Can this help stem the tide of radicalism before it grows out of control? And legal refuge. Meet a lawyer who's dedicated his life to giving legal access to China's poor migrant workers. I'm Silkina Ahluwalia, and this is Assignment Asia. Welcome to the program. As ISIL loses its foothold in the Middle East, there are growing concerns that it would export its extremist ideologies elsewhere. Here in Indonesia, the threat of radicalism looms large. Authorities say thousands of young people have been recruited by extremist groups as of 2016. But in East Java, an Islamic boarding school has joined the fight against radicalism. I met the man who started a program called Jihadpreneur, which teaches its students to wage jihad, not through violence, but by doing business. At the break of dawn, students at this Islamic boarding school gather for their early morning prayer. It's a daily routine Nizar Arifin never misses. Reciting the Holy Quran helps him find peace, hope, and renewed faith in his religion. At just 23, Nizar left his hometown of Solo in central Java, a city where he says homegrown radicals are spreading their ideology. Like many Indonesians, he grew up in an Islamic boarding school, locally known as pesantren. There, he was educated about tolerance, kindness, and the negative consequences of violence. But the same were not taught when it came to the word jihad, often translated as holy war in Islam. Where he studied before, he says the interpretation of jihad meant going to war against people who do not share his faith.
Jihad itu ada banyak, seperti bagaimana kita berusaha untuk berbisnis agar kita bisa menunjang perekonomian, itu juga jihad. Jadi nggak semua jihad itu termasuk perang. Padahal di Indonesia sendiri, di sini diterapkan Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, yaitu banyak bersuku-suku, berbangsa-bangsa. Bagaimana kita bisa hidup secara rukun di sini.
Nizar left his hometown before radicalism could seep into his life. He found a home here at Mukmin Mandiri in East Java. At this boarding school, a new course called Jihadpreneur, launched in the middle of 2016, is trying to change the way students like Nizar perceive Islam. The term blends the concepts of jihad, described in Islam as an act of striving for the greater good, with entrepreneurship.
Untuk memadukan entrepreneur dengan pelajaran agama di sini, ketika kita berbisnis, maka kita di sana harus juga terapkan ilmu-ilmu agama. Seperti saat kita produksi, kita harus bisa membedakan mana yang barang halal, mana yang barang haram.
Muhammad Zaki is the man behind Mukmin Mandiri. As a young boy, he attended a well-known Islamic boarding school founded by the country's late former president Abdurrahman Wahid.
Waktu kecil saya hidup di dunia pesantren di Tebuireng, pondok pesantren Tebuireng yang didirikan oleh Mbah Hashim Al-Asy'ari, pendiri Nahdlatul Ulama. Ayahnya Kiai Haji Abdurrahman Wahid, Presiden Republik Indonesia. Jadi saya pernah nyantri di sana. Ketika saya mondok di Tebuireng, banyak mengajarkan kepada saya, terutama satu, perjalanan spiritual yang begitu kuat di sana. Lalu yang kedua adalah mengajarkan leader, kemampuan untuk memimpin, Itulah yang membuat saya semakin yakin bahwa Tebuireng ini menjadi sebuah kiblat kita, kiblat pesantren Mukmin Mandiri.
Mukmin Mandiri is unlike other Islamic boarding schools in Indonesia, which has the world's largest population of Muslims. Those commonly found across the country each house more than 100 students at a time and cost nearly $500 for enrollment. Here, Zaki accepts only 20 students every 4 years with no admission fees. In return, they are given the opportunity to work in Indonesia's growing coffee industry by learning how to produce, distribute, and sell Indonesian-grown coffee beans. Zaki says his school was built on the principles of correcting the twisted interpretation of Islam that is all too common in the public eye.
Saya seringkali menyampaikan jihadpreneur. Pertama adalah saya menghilangkan tudingan orang menginterpretasikan jihad. Dan seringkali orang itu salah mengartikan jihad itu seperti kital, membunuh. Padahal tidak begitu. Jihad membunuh orang, jihad memerangi orang, jihad meneror orang, jihad untuk menyakiti orang. Padahal makna jihad itu tidak seperti itu. Jihad itu adalah menjadi upaya sungguh-sungguh yang upaya sungguh-sungguh itu mempunyai nilai added value, nilai produktivitas, dan nilai tambah bagi diri manusia dan juga masyarakat kita sekitarnya. Karena itu saya mendeklar bahwa jihad ekonomi bagi saya dan Islam itu adalah menjadi sebuah tuntutan. Kenapa? Karena Islam itu harus kaya, Islam itu harus sempurna, Islam itu harus sejahtera. Karena itu adalah tuntutan dari Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala bahwa Islam itu harus seperti itu.
Zaki says the jihadpreneur program can not only bring economic prosperity, but also protect the youth from radicalism. It came at the right time. In recent months, hardline groups are strengthening their grip on Indonesia. Democracy activists warn that rising intolerance is threatening peace and stability. A survey released by one of the largest research centers on Islam here in Indonesia found that nearly 8% of Indonesians are prone to radicalism. That's around 11.5 million people. Now, in a country of 250 million people, 11.5 million may not seem like a lot. But the respondents across 34 provinces, including right here in East Java, said that they are willing to perform radical acts in the name of religion. That is concerning, especially because the research found a close link between low-quality education and radical thinking. With the self-proclaimed Islamic State group reported to be spreading its ideology in Southeast Asia, more and more young Indonesians are at risk of getting lured by radicalism. As of 2016, Indonesian authorities believe nearly 2,000 people have left to join the group in Syria. On January 14, 2016, the country suffered its first militant attack in years, right at the heart of the capital, where 8 people were killed, including the attackers. Smaller attacks were carried out in Central and East Java. Experts believe initiatives like Jihadpreneur are important in Indonesia's fight against terrorism and extremism.
Jihadpreneur di satu sisi menurut saya hal yang baru, inovatif, dan bisa saja membuat anak-anak muda Indonesia itu lebih asik belajar Islam. Karena Islam selama ini dipahami sebagai sesuatu yang dogmatis, kemudian old style begitu. Nah, kalau kemudian ada untuk unsur entrepreneurship di situ, orang belajar Islam, kemudian dia bisa berusaha, dia bisa menjadi manajer, dia bisa menjadi entrepreneur, saya kira cukup positif.
Jadi mental entrepreneur itu kita bangun secara terus-menerus pada diri santri melalui pengajian entrepreneur, pelatihan entrepreneur, pendidikan akhlak entrepreneur. Itu yang terus-menerus kita lembagakan pada diri santri. Kalau itu sudah melembaga pada diri santri, mental-mental seperti itu akan terwujud. Kenapa itu bisa terwujud? Karena mereka tidak hanya segera mendapatkan pendidikan di pesantren, tetapi juga itu adalah tuntunan dari Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Rasulullah Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Indonesia's Religious Affairs Ministry has been working to maintain religious harmony in the country. Finding the root causes of radicalism is a complicated task, but in Indonesia, it begins with understanding the role of education. In 2016, research by the Center for the Study of Islam and Society found that nearly 80% of Islamic educators promote bigotry in schools and mosques across the nation. Zaki says programs like Jihadpreneur are attempting to bring positive change. It is slowly spreading to other parts of Indonesia, providing a fresh perspective on the connection between Islam and the economy.
Harapan saya untuk di masa depan yaitu tidak banyak saya hanya ingin menjadi orang yang bermanfaat bagi orang lain. Apapun saya, apapun profesi saya, apapun status saya, yang penting saya bisa bermanfaat untuk orang lain, juga untuk Indonesia.
Nizar eagerly waits for the day he becomes a successful entrepreneur, someone who will not only contribute to his country's economy, but also help defeat extremist ideas. He believes the skills he is acquiring at Mukmin Mandiri are already paving his path. Muhammad Zaki's initiative has begun to spread to other parts of Indonesia. More Islamic boarding schools now include the Jihadpreneur program in their curriculum, hoping to produce hundreds of religious entrepreneurs in the coming years. Next, on Assignment Asia, a lawyer who's helping China's migrant workers achieve justice.
Are we ready? China, a nation with the largest population on Earth, assuming a greater role economically and politically on the world stage. Understanding China is critical for all, though difficult for some. Behind the scenes of China's transformation, I'm Robert Lawrence Kuhn. Join me to get closer to China.
Despite China's expanding legal profession, access to the justice system is still elusive for most poor migrant workers. Without legal aid, it's also hard for them to win their cases if they get into trouble. But in Chongqing, a lawyer has devoted his life to helping migrant workers get legal access and ultimately justice. CGTN's Han Bin reports.
Chongqing, a city on fast track of development. Its wealth built on the labor of migrant workers, but their stories are often untold. A day starts early for the family of Li Jiuping. Every penny is hard-earned. Li Jiuping and his wife run a breakfast shop. At the age of 15, he lost his right hand in a work accident.
刚开始的时候会经常想起，而现在呢，比如说我做某一件事情的时候，看到人家做得很好的时候，而我只能看就不能做，在这个时候呢，都会想到我当时的那种痛苦，而且他的痛苦不只是一般人能想象得到的。 那种苦是，就相当于一个人是渴望，简单来说是可望而不可及的事情。
Li initially thought he would not get justice for what happened. Then he met Zhou Li Tai, a lawyer who advocates for migrant workers' rights. Li and Zhou have since become good friends, and the lawyer regularly visits him and his wife.
我当时的思想都没有法律的概念，就是请到周立泰律师来跟我打官司，也就是别人给我介绍的。我听人家说他就是专门能够帮我们在厂里面出来工伤的，为我们能够讨一个说法而已。当时只有这种概念，不像现在长大了还你了解社会上还有个法律这个东西，它是针对人民是公正的，每个人都可以用他的条条款款那个遵循他的条规。
With Zhou Litai as his lawyer, Li Jiuping won his case and received compensation for the injury 2 years after the accident. He says the case made him stronger in facing difficulties.
其实呢，现在呢已经习惯了这么多年呢，比以前要好多了。虽然走出来一些呢，但是要是完全走出来，那也不可能。我想这辈子也不可能。最大的改变就是社会上还是有真理的。虽然我没有得到很多钱，但是我还是能感觉到这个社会还是讲道理的。也就是说，每个人他告诉我一个人，或者是整个社会。 只要你拥有一个法律的武器，或者是怎么对于不公的事情，你可以通过走法律这条路可以保护自己。
China's rapid urbanization has brought a huge flow of rural laborers into factories and construction sites. Injuries and non-payment of wages are common problems, a situation Zhou is all too familiar with. Every day in his law office, he receives migrant workers like them seeking legal aid. These laborers work in a shoe factory. Their company owes them 4 months' worth of wages, amounting to some 540,000 yuan, or about $80,000 US. But their boss has disappeared.
实行仲裁，当然你现在要有证据证明，你去找了劳动部门的要有依据。 否则他不要脸，他不承认你实效，你啷个办？
那到那个年底的时候，我们说那就先不做了，把工资花了再做。他说没事没事，你们把这批货做完吧，做完了我就货赶完了，货花出去了，就自然就有钱给你了。那我们想也确实啊，那就人家货没花也没货款到啊，对不对？那我们就是这样就给他做了。那做到腊月23，那就是2015年的农历腊月23的时候，那已经做完了，该做的该花的就已经花了，对不对？那到24呢，工资就没有了。 然后就找了，我们也去找人了，也找那个我们造价工业园区呢，对不对？也找那个老板呢，老板也有路面呢，他确实没有啊，就这样啊。
老板哪去了呢？
不知道，我们肯定是联系不上。
严格意义上讲，这个拒不支付劳动报酬是可以判刑的。如果说他们呢，现在有2个途径，第一个途径，要求法院尽快执行，尽快对劳动部门作出的处罚决定尽快执行。第二，如果得不到执行，那就可以要求公安机关立案侦查。 可以按拒不支付劳动报酬罪可以判刑的。
我那么大的岁数来做点辛苦钱，早上6点多钟都来，他们那些8点钟上班，一次都没发给呀。后来又见不到人了，我们说我们又认不到字。
Zhou says migrant workers are easily exploited because they have little to no knowledge of the law. Most of them come from poor rural areas with low levels of education.
虽然说我们建立了一系列的法律体系，但是我们事实上，我们一些用人单位，如果他严格按照法律办了，可能企业就难以生存。因此，很多企业在经营过程中，就是规避法律，牺牲法律，牺牲工人的身体、生命作为代价。我们现行的司法公正呢，我们有些方面还是写在纸上的。虽然说这很多年来， 和以前比，司法公正又得到了根本的改变和遏制。我们在一些经济形势下行的情况下，我们一些政府干预司法公正，导致很多案件的不公正的判决，使农民工的权利也频频受到侵害。
In China, lawyers like Zhou, who focus on defending migrant workers' rights, are a rarity, as is not a lucrative profession. He earns a living from a portion of the compensation that workers get after winning their cases. Zhou was a migrant worker himself in his youth before studying law.
Despite China's rapidly expanding legal profession, migrant workers still find it hard to gain access to the judicial system. The law firms of Zhou Litai serves as a special corridor for legal aid. to win back their rights.
In his archives, Zhou showed us files covering over 10,000 cases he handled in the past 20 years. He says migrant workers' legal awareness has improved. Cases involving physical injuries have fallen, but pay defaults are getting worse. Zhou wants to showcase the files in a museum one day and let the public know the untold stories.
这几年最主要的案件是欠薪的案件。
这几年的案子可能就是追讨加班费和经济补偿的案子比较居多，但是工伤保险呢，在原来断手的这个比较严重的残废等级呢，逐步在降低，但是职业病在逐年的增加，而事实上我可以肯定的说，我们国家的这个看不到的这个职业病远远超过了断腿断手的有形。
The cases that Zhou handled have not always been successful. He says labor cases require a lengthy process that often takes its toll on complainants.
现在我们国家法律的规定，就是说劳动者权利受到侵害以后，要依法维权，要通过先仲裁、后起诉、一审判的不服，再到二审。 通俗地称为一参两审的这个司法原则，劳动争议仲裁的前置程序的设置，无形中就制造了一个劳动者权利受到侵害就依法维权的时间周期长。比如说，一个工伤要通过认定劳动关系、工伤的确认，要1074天，拖都拖死他了。
Originally from Chongqing's Kaizhou County, He Shulin was a factory worker in an industrial city of Shenzhen. His work exposed him to harmful chemicals, and he contracted lung disease. In 2004, he and 37 other workers who got ill took their employer to court.
我们打到06年，仲裁才下来，每个人支持了我们当时的请求，但是最终又到了这个温州的龙安区法院起诉，对方起诉不服，最后不服以后，我们又上诉到 温州市的中级法院，打了07年才结束。也就是说，一个人犯了职业病以后，没有饭吃，也没有医疗，很多人实际上有几个人都已经死在温州了。
Despite Zhou's efforts, He Shulin and his fellow workers lost their case. Although the local arbitration committee agreed to fine the company, the higher courts decided otherwise. Zhou believes that in this case, the workers didn't get legal protection. He says the rule of law needs real action.
Although China has a set of work safety laws, enforcement is often a lax, and getting compensation is often a long and difficult process. For some, money can't guide back what has been lost.
Zhou has been visiting He Shulin regularly for the past 10 years. Although sick, he is one of only 2 of the 38 workers still alive.
现在主要是呼吸困难，吃不得。最严重时有时候住院是啥原因去住啊？
最严重哦，一个人是不行的，那个像死人子一样的冲动
经常衰竭，他导致你5大器官衰竭了。
啊，主要是你那个5大功能。
While Li Jiuping found renewed hope in China's justice system after winning his case, He Shulin says he no longer cares about his legal rights. Despite some failures, Zhou Litai vows to continue his legal fight for workers' rights until getting justice is no longer a struggle for them. For Assignment Asia, I'm Han Bin in Chongqing, China.
Providing adequate legal access remains a challenge for China, but progress has been made in recent years. China's government-sponsored legal aid for workers has grown, and lawyers like Zhou Litai continue to press forward. You can learn more about this and all the stories on today's program on our website, www.assignment-asia.com. That's all the time we have for this week. I'm Silkina Ahluwalia. Thanks for watching. Join us again on Assignment Asia.